Hey, it's Kim from Not Consumed. Good morning. Today we're going to talk about simple and absolutely free ways to bless others and stay not consumed in November. I'm excited that you've joined us today, and the question of the day that I would love for you to answer as we get going is, what are you thankful for? So drop something in the comments. Anything, the sky is the limit. What are you thankful for? So that's our question for today. Now, I want to start by telling you a story. A couple years ago, I think it was a couple years ago, we were in our favorite store shopping along, and my son mentioned that we walked by the aisle in the back of the store where they always have the holiday seasonal stuff. And he said, "Mom, what happened to Thanksgiving?" And I thought, what? And so he looks around, and Halloween had passed, and all of that had filled the back of the store just weeks before. And then suddenly all of that was gone, and now Christmas was everywhere, but it was only the beginning of November. And I thought for a long time about his comment and how much I thought, well, it's just because people don't buy a lot of costumes or things. At Halloween you're buying costumes and candy if you do that, and then at Christmas you're buying all kinds of other stuff. So the stores don't celebrate Thanksgiving because it doesn't make them any money, right? And so I'm trying to explain this to him, and he's like, "Okay, but do we?" I'm like, yes, we do. And I started thinking, the more and more I thought about that, the more and more I thought, maybe we don't do a good job at this. Thanksgiving is a holiday that is celebrated, yes, but actually it's an attitude overall in our lives. And are we taking the opportunity in the month of November to take an emphasis on that? I know for me, I probably didn't for too long, because I kind of had this Christian, if you want to call it that, attitude that said, I think I should give thanks to God all the time, so I'm not sure that I need to ramp it up or whatever. I've started to realize this is true. We should be thankful all year long, no question. But the month of November is a great time to reemphasize that. It's a great time to teach our kids more. It's a great time to just, do all of that kind of stuff that's really keeping our minds focused. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about how we do that, and I'm going to tell you a few more stories and why. So 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, it gives us three very specific commands for life, and they're my three favorite things. If you've ever gone through, actually it starts with 5. I said 5:18, but it starts with 5:16. So 1 Thessalonians 5:16, and it says, rejoice always. Ooh, such a hard word. Pray continually. Yet another hard word. And thirdly, give thanks in all things. For this is the will of God for you, or in Christ Jesus for you. And the first time that I read all three of those together, I had known all of those verses separately, but the first time I read them together, I thought, this is kind of like the key to life. Rejoice always, pray about everything, nonstop, and give thanks in every single little thing. Now, I want to give you two examples of thankfulness, because usually we think, okay, well, I can be thankful for this, I can be thankful for that, I can be thankful for my house, I can be thankful for food or whatever, but I can't be thankful for that one thing because it's not ideal in my life and it's causing me pain, or it's, taking a life of a family member or whatever hard thing it is in our lives. And we think, well, we can't really be thankful for that. So I want to give you two examples. One was last year when we were driving to Arkansas to go to Teach Them Diligently. Woohoo! If you're a homeschooler, I hope you're going, especially well, there's 6 different ones, so we'll see you anywhere, but we're going to be back in Arkansas again. So anyway, we're driving to Arkansas, and it was our first trip of the year. It was the first time I had driven our trailer, which in itself was a little bit out of my comfort zone. I'm just being totally honest. Driving is something that I just try to do. Like hauling a trailer on the back and getting the hitch and putting on a transmission cooler and then learning to use the hitch and just it was a little stressful for me just to do that. And so we drive to, we're driving to this location, and we had some trouble with the hitch that day. We get to the hotel tells us, we're sorry, you don't have a room here tonight. And I was like, wait, and I had pulled up the email, and I'm like, I've got a room here, right here. And they're like, oh, we see that, but we canceled it. And I was like, okay, good. Why? They're like, oh, we're very, very sorry. This is a mistake. We don't have any more rooms tonight. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm really tired. This is like the moment when you lose your Jesus, you know? And I'm like, okay, you know what? There are a few other hotels in town. Let's go to the other hotel. We get to the next hotel, a little less clean, a little less nice, a little more expensive. But it, you know, it was okay. We pull in, we park, we get into the room, and it's kind of stuffy. It doesn't really smell ideal. And I think, okay, I'm going to look out the window because I need to refocus my thoughts on something positive and give thanks for this situation because we do have a room to stay in tonight. And I open up the window, and like the whole scene is, I should have brought the picture up for you. It's like this big bunch of rocks everywhere, and it's like a concrete, basically demolished parking lot. And I'm like, oh, all right, good view. And my daughter walks up behind me, and I'm just kind of soaking it all in, thinking, okay. And she says, look, Mom, ancient ruins. And I was like, oh my word. Oh, it's such a good reminder that you can see whatever you want to see when you're looking at your situation. You can look at the positive side. You can look at the negative side. But there's always an opportunity to give thanks. And my son is the perfect example of this. So I'm going to try something a little techie today. By the way, if you're just joining us, please drop in the comments what you're thankful for, because that's our topic for today. Tell us what you're thankful for. And so we're going to try something a little techie. I want to show you my son. If you have been following the vlog long, you know that my son Luke was diagnosed last November with a brain tumor. And this video that I'm going to try to show you, hopefully it works out, was taken in December, just I think it was about 3 weeks after he started chemo. He came into my bathroom one day, and he said, Mom, because, you know, kids always talk to you in the bathroom. And he said, Mom, is it chemo day today? And I said, yes, it is. And he said, oh, great. And I was like, really? And he said, yes. And I said, well, son, what do you like about chemo? And this video is what he shared with me. So let's see if we can get it here. It's over here. All right, I think you can see that.
I like chemo because I like that all the people do. I like the fake Santa. I like building Lego sets, and I like spending time with you. I like.
Okay, so we got the video. Let's see if we can get back to me now. All right. So in case you didn't understand him, I had to share it with you, but he said he liked chemo because he liked the people there, the nurses, which a year later, it's still the same. Like, the people are so precious to him. And he liked the fake Santa, which was this guy who came around and gave him presents. And so, you know, who doesn't like that? And he liked the snack cart, and he liked spending time with me, which was such a convicting thing for him to say, because I hadn't even stopped at that moment. It had only been just a few, weeks after diagnosis at that point, and I hadn't even stopped to realize that the baby, if you have multiple kids, he had not had a lot of one-on-one time with mom because he's the baby, and I'm a single mom, so there weren't, and I've always been a single mom since he was born, before he was born, and so he hasn't had a lot of time with just mommy. And he was getting that, and as an added bonus. And instead of seeing, the drugs and the medicine and how nasty it feels, as I make this video, he's laying in bed from chemo yesterday, like still at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's not that the chemo is so great that he's enjoying it. It's that he instead chose to look at those really positive things and say, hey, you know what? There are some really good things about this, and I'm going to enjoy those things. And that's what 1 Thessalonians is all about. it's saying, even in the hard circumstances, even in the things that you wish were not a part of your life, let's give thanks in those things. So I want to challenge you to do a couple things. One, as you go into the holiday season, let's forget about our family struggles and our financial struggles and our health struggles, loneliness, all of those things that we really struggle with over the holidays that get us all uptight and make it so that it's not an enjoyable experience. But instead, let's look for the enjoyable things, the little things, just like Luke did, the little ancient ruins, just like my daughter did, as we're going through and saying, hey, you know what? There are good things here. Even if there's a mountain of bad things that we don't really like next to it, there are still good things here. One of the ways that we do that in our family is going to be kind of traditional to you. You probably know and have seen something like this, but we do have a thankful journal. This is a free printable that you can get. I put the link in the top of the comments there for you. But in our thankful journal, it's really simple. My goal was, I love the idea of encouraging your kids to write things that they're thankful for. The problem for me was they started writing all the same things all the time, and it was kind of hard. So I created a different idea. Instead of just an open-ended one, we have categories. So I'm thankful for my home and like all the different things that might be associated there. And then of course there's a place to even draw. And then they have a whole bunch of other categories. So there's home, and there's thankful for what God created is the next page. And I'm thankful for who God is, so we can talk about the attributes of God. I'm thankful for what God made me to be. This is one of the hardest things for kids, and really for us as women, and even some men that I have met and known over the years. This can be really hard because God has created us to be incredible people, but the world says you're not thin enough, you're not pretty enough, you have too many freckles, your hair's not blonde enough, or you're, have 4 eyes. You name it. It does not matter what it is. The world has a different idea than what God had, but God said we're made in His image. And what better way to teach your kids that than to help them to be thankful for all the little things that God created them to be, both physically, emotionally, their strengths, all of those things. Let's see. Then we have turning pages. This shouldn't be this hard. I'm thankful for God's promises. This is where we can write scripture that is especially meaningful for us, that we're very thankful for. I'm thankful for my community. And I'm thankful for my gifts. All the things that God has given us. That's not just presents. And I'm thankful for my world, all the things in our world. Then after that, we have 2 verses that are like coloring pages that the kids can enjoy. It's Isaiah 63:7, which is my favorite Thanksgiving verse, even though I don't think anybody ever uses it for Thanksgiving, but I love it because it talks about recounting the steadfast love of the Lord over and over and over again, talking about His goodness and how much He loves us and all the things that He's done for us. And then last but not least is a gratitude list. Now, I want to show you how we use this because this is a little bit different. You probably have thought about doing a thankfulness journal, or you've probably done a thankfulness journal where your kids write down things that they're thankful for and they can pray through those and stuff like that. But we took it a step farther and decided we want to not just thank God, we want to thank God for other people and let those other people know how thankful we are. So I created these cards. You can see them here. And they just say, "Dear so-and-so," there's a line, "I'm thankful for you because," and then at the bottom it has, let me just hold one up so it can focus. Maybe. At the bottom it says first, I'll just read it to you. It has 1 Thessalonians 5:18, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you." That was the verse we just talked about. And so what we do is every day, since I homeschool, this is part of our homeschool, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be it can be part of your devotion. It could just be something you do a couple of times a week. It doesn't have to, don't get all crazy and think that it has to be that, but I'll just show you the other ones. we write in here, dear so-and-so, anybody you can think of, your neighbor, someone at church, someone you don't even really know, like the lady who checks out your groceries at Publix. Yay, Publix. And then I'm thankful for you because, and then you write something down that you're thankful for them. Now the journal part is actually just to record who you thanked. I don't know about you, but I forget everything. So that's the reason why we have this. So we can say, oh, we've already gotten the post office, or we've already gotten our mail person who's delivering our mail. We already did our next door neighbor. We already did pastor, whatever it is, so that we can remember, who we've done and who we haven't done. I would encourage you to consider doing something like this, because not only does it bless other people, but it's such a blessing to you and your kids as you think hard about, well, who can we thank that has, and it doesn't have to be that they've done something for you, by the way. I would encourage you to thank them just for being who they are, just for being a part of your life, just for living next door. It doesn't have to be, hey, you're the best neighbor ever and you're always bringing in our trash, because that's not really a real life situation. All of our neighbors are not the best neighbors, so thank them for just, working there, for being there, for checking out your groceries, whatever it is. Okay, so two more things. First of all, if you haven't yet told me what you're thankful for, I want you to do it right now. Stop and go ahead and note what you're thankful for in the comments, because I want to see those. And Susan has said, thankful for our children showing us the way. I love that. That's very sweet. And so let's make sure. Oh, I didn't know it would do that. All right. So the free printables. I forgot one last page. Also included in the free Thanksgiving printables are some Bible verses that are really cute. You can hang those on your fridge. If you're a part of our list already, we have a different one that we just gave you for November. This one might go in another place, or it can be for, whatever. Your kids can use it. It's super fun. This is actually where the scripture printable idea started from. We made these and people love them so much. So, all right, now you're probably wondering, how do I get the printables? And I want to show you how all these fun things. I'm actually going to show you, we're going to play technology again. We're going to go back over. I mentioned the website, and this is where you go. It's notconsumed.com/free, and I put that link in the comments. And there are 3 free printables here. If you haven't ever seen this, it is my goal to bless you with a free collection of printables that will help your family in all of the 3 areas that we kind of cover on the blog. And so one of those is your family faith, and then in the middle is homeschool, and then on the last side is holidays, because I love holidays so much, and it's so hard to find good Christian resources for holidays. So we have all kinds of things in this pack, like the Thanksgiving journal I just shared with you, and we have there's a Christmas one that I'm going to share with you in a couple weeks that is helping you to do random acts of kindness for other people. There are Valentines that have scriptures and things on there, and an Easter countdown, and there's an Advent printable in there. The sky's the limit. So the only thing you need to do to get it is click here on holidays and sign up to get that. You will get an email with that included. Now, just so you know, I do have some other ideas for ways that you can celebrate Thanksgiving by giving thanks, and just some other resources. And I'm going to be sending those in an email on Sunday. So if you go ahead and grab the printable and sign up for our email list, you will get that email on Sunday. And I think you're going to really enjoy that resource too, because it is a packed email with all kinds of good stuff that you can do and share with your kids and your family in general this month as we are thankful. So if you have not commented yet, please tell us what you're thankful for. I'm thankful you joined me, and also thankful for all of you. That might sound a little corny, but it's true, because my family depends on you guys, and we are so thankful for your support and your love, your prayers for Luke, and just your support of the ministry. It's such a blessing, and I really mean that. So thank you, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.